Welcome to Triple H, Hamilton Happy Hour, where we talk about pianos, talk about music, and everything else in between. Hey everybody, welcome back to Hamilton Happy Hour Triple H. We're glad you joined us to watch this. Thank you for everybody that's viewing this. Please pass it along to all of your friends and family, and we hope you like it. We've been hearing some good things about people actually following us and liking it, so we're happy about that.
Thanks, Jen.
And if you have suggestions that you want us to talk about, let us know. So we're back with Mike and Mike. Of course.
Hey, everybody. How's everyone going?
And we are joined with David. David is new to the company. He came in about 2-3 weeks ago, right? And
this is my third week.
And so he came in and we started talking, and, you know, it's all about finding a fit, right? It's all about, you know, how can we figure out things for people to do? You and I got to talking, and I had a class going on that week. So I said, come back in a week, and then, you know, you've been here and we're happy to have you and we appreciate it. You're doing some stuff. You're doing some of the editing too for the podcast. So we figured we'd have you on to get the outside and inside of the box.
Indeed.
You know, part of it.
The full bore.
Yeah. So it's basically, we're glad to have you and having you on board to do that part of it and other things. I mean, you've learned a lot since you've been here. A lot, right?
There's a lot to learn.
Oh, yeah. And
there's a lot going on.
3 weeks is nothing. 3 years is nothing.
I never would have expected
right?
there was this much going on.
Yeah. 30 years is something.
We didn't either.
I think that also surprises me, too, at how recent you've moved into this scale of business as well.
Well, because I opened up the shop in 2008, because no one in my family had a shop. So I started that in 2008, and it was just me pretty much for the most part, and 2,200 square feet. And I was happy because I was out of my garage, out of my dad's garage, out of the back of his house, and grew into where we are now. But that's the thing. We don't ever stall. You know, we're always trying, like we got this AI thing we talked about before that we're going to be doing.
The complacency.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good way to put it.
And that's the thing too. You can't stall, because once you stall, you're stuck in the 80s. You know, when you're in 2025.
Awesome, though.
They were. I agree 100%. But
shout out to Max Headroom.
You know. See,
I didn't even remember that part.
But you get into, when you stall, you plateau, you know, and we're never doing that. I mean, I'm not kidding you. I mean, just this week alone, okay, today's Wednesday, right? So for the last 3 days, we didn't have a lot of road work. So you guys were here a lot. You came on board. We had Dylan and another new guy. We have another new guy starting in a couple months. And that's where you take a company from, you know, a basis, a foundation, and you start, it's the right people that make that happen. It's not me, it's not you, it's not you, it's not you, it's everybody. Everybody is what works together. And if you kind of look at the camaraderie, it's always been good.
This week that it's similar to the workings of a piano?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what it was I erased it. I should have kept it. I knew as soon as I erased it, I'm like, I should have kept that. But basically, we are moving parts like a piano. In order for those parts to work properly, they have to work in conjunction with each other, and that's how this shop is. So like you and Dylan have been doing different new things that you've never done before. You guys are doing great. You're doing great at what you've been doing. Dylan's been doing really good at the buffing and stuff, and he asked me a couple times in the last 2 weeks, can I try this? Can I do this? And I'm like, yeah, just wait, and then, okay, let's try it and see. And no, he's doing good, man. I don't know if you've seen some of his work.
I have, yeah. He's doing good, and both of you guys are sort of learning every aspect of the business. You know, you've been on the road a couple of days, done great there, and you guys are really kind of lucky because not too many people get to jump into a place and just get bombarded with information about something you have no idea about before you walked in the door. Essentially, you're a musician, so you probably had a little bit of a heads up versus Dylan. But you know, there's so much going on in a place like this, and it's fun to get two people that are soaking it up.
But you guys rotate me in and out of. I can feel that, like, it's very intentional. Of, all right, this is an area that we do work, and we'll move this person to here, and you cross train very intentionally and very deliberately and diligently too. And eventually, people just settle into what they're really good at. And that's why certain people have their areas here where they're doing a particular kind of work, is because you kind of just like moved them about until something,
you find
something just landed, you know, even if other things are landing, at some point,
you're going to find your niche.
Yeah, the niche will happen.
Absolutely.
And that's how it's worked with everybody here, because I am not good at everything, just like everybody else. So we have to find who's good at what. And the beauty of having the right amount of people is that if I'm not good at something, I've got 2 or 3 other guys here that are way better at it than me. And so that's why, like when you're doing something, polishing hardware or taking the piano apart or whatever.
Kicked my butt today.
I'm telling, okay.
Kicked all of our butts.
Trevor and Rosie are better at that than me, even though I do it, but I'm not as good as everybody else. So I had them train you, because it's pointless for me to do it when I know that there's someone already better, because I'm not going to show you as good as they do, because they've been doing that more than me. I did it in the very beginning when I was by myself, and in my garage, I still have buffing compound in my ceiling. And when I go to work out,
I totally underestimated the flingability of the buffing compound and the wheel materials. Severely underestimated.
But it's instant gratification too.
100%.
You know, it is just like, oh wow, I did that in 5 seconds and look. But it is very dirty work. That's why your shirt's dirty, and that's okay. But it's proving to everybody that, you know, that this is what we do. We are in the trenches and we are working our butts off to do everything the right way, because we don't skip steps. That's the thing too. There's
been a pace to it. There's been a pace. I feel like 2.5 weeks in, I'm just now starting to understand the scale of everything happening here. Only after 2.5 weeks did I really feel the paint department, you know, refinishing, and like you showed me today where with the A and the B in that department over there, and then how it goes to there, and then eventually moves over, yada yada.
Right.
It actually took 2.5 weeks to like actually start seeing that and feeling the weight of that in the daily life of the shop.
Oh, you're just
because of the pace that you guys take it at.
You're sliding across the ice right now. You haven't even broken the ice yet.
Yeah,
that's good to know.
No, it's kind of funny, because when Shaddy first joined us, when he left Steinway and moved back down to Miami, he started working with us. I think it was him that said, boy, you guys are busy. And this was the beginning of season. And I said, you haven't seen busy yet.
No.
You know, I mean, busy is, listen, there's 25 of us, give or take. And we're all busting our butts. I mean, one of the biggest things that you brought it up to me, and I kind of knew you were going to say it sooner or later. You're like, you like this, seeing everybody working and this and that. You know why I do? I do because everybody's getting along, everybody's having fun.
Yeah, it's a good time.
And the jobs are getting completed and they're getting done right. And I remember when when Jeff owned Chafin's, you know, and I went in there one time. I don't remember what for. I think I had to get a read or something for my son. And I walked in and there were a lot of people there, you know, working.
That place was a vibe too.
Right. It was a vibe.
Yep.
And
a vibe.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was always slammed, especially Saturday afternoons and chafing music, man. There was people from all walks of life. There's music going in the background. There's somebody playing guitar over there. And it's just like, it was so cool. Yeah.
Very good vibe. That's perfect word for it. And so when I left there, I called Jeff and I said, hey man, you had a lot of people working, you had a lot of customers in there, and that was such a good feeling and so good to see.
Yep.
You know, one day I wanted to have that, because we're talking, this was probably 6-7 years ago, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And it was just like, man, I want that. You know, I just want that camaraderie going on. I want the customers to feel at ease and coming in and needing things, and we can supply it. And that's why we're growing and doing what we're doing. But you're seeing that too from an outsider, because we see it all day, every day. You're seeing it from an outsider. There's very few companies, and I'm assuming this is the only company I know, but I'm assuming
it's the only company I know.
But that there are not every company is like that, you know, because this is a mom and pop operation. This is not a corporate, you know, thing where it's this and this and this. We used to have a guy that worked for us that was going to college for business, and they were teaching him the corporate way. So him and I went out on a call one time, and as we're driving, I said, so what do you think? And he starts, well, I think this, and this about the company. And I said, that's corporate talk. We're not corporate. There's a big, big difference between corporate and family company. and you have to. It's hard to figure out how to run it in that sense where how can I make, not me, how can the company make so many people happy? Do you know what I mean? And really, and keep them happy to the point where they want to stay.
Between corporate, like the key difference between corporate and family is that family is starting with that as their first directive. And corporate isn't.
Right.
And it totally changes.
Corporate, you're all about a number. You're a number.
Exactly.
You're not a person.
Scale.
You're just a number.
I think they probably started out like that. Most of them started out as family businesses, and it just grows and grows and grows and grows.
It got so
completely
big.
out of where you maybe even most of them maybe even intended for it to go.
And because you have shareholders, so shareholders, take part, and you got people on the board, and so on and so forth.
It takes on a life of its own.
And see, I've been in both aspects. I've seen the corporate way. I've been in the family business. I mean, it's it's night and day.
Yeah.
I've went from a family business that went corporate, and the corporate said, "Oh, this isn't making money. We're going to shut down that."
Yeah.
And not care about the people.
Yeah.
To where the family, they saw it was losing money, but they cared about the people. So, but when the mom and pop died, they became shareholders, and they said, you're gone.
So there's only two shareholders, Tina and me.
Would you ever let Hamilton Piano Company go corporate? Or
Absolutely not. Nope.
Love that.
Nope. There's no way. One, I don't think it'd ever get that big. And two, I want to do it because I'm in control. I have to be in control. If I'm not in control of a situation, something inside me doesn't feel right. And then it'll nag at me until I get control of the situation. No matter what it's going to be. It can be anything. Yeah, that's just me. I don't know why. It's like being like, that's why I don't have a partner with the company except for Tina, where it is, I won't work well with somebody else that, if I feel something's not right and then I bring it to their attention and they say this and that and blah, 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 blah. If I am 100% in control, I feel the best. If I'm not, then I don't like it. I really just don't like it.
We've noticed that.
I'm sorry.
I thought everybody was being a family-owned business
for sure
operator.
Yes, for sure. Because I'm never going to steer the business into a downfall. That's the thing. No matter what I have to do,
there's a lot of moving parts to keep greased.
Right, and no matter what I would have to do, like I told everybody knows here, if I have to, without a doubt, I will go out and do 33 tunings a week and kill myself. But I will do it if I have to. The good thing is, there's the right people here, so I don't have to. Yes, I am doing tunings. Yes, I am, still doing what I'm doing. I probably did more tunings, I think, this season than last season. But
I was just thinking that the other day.
Yeah, I'm okay with that because I'm still. Listen, it's not that I don't love tuning pianos. I do. The difference is that I got so much going on here that for it to take my time, it's not just the tuning the piano that time. It's the driving there and driving back. It's that part of it. So, my time is more valuable here because then I can start train you on something and not have to, say, well, wait till I get back, and then Dylan and so on and so forth. So the good thing is with Trevor being here, with Jordan being here, and you guys, everybody, we started talking about this, not on a podcast, but we started talking about the tiers, right? And we said in the beginning of the year, we need 3 more people. Well, you showed up, Dylan showed up, and Rashawn showed up. That'll be on starting in June. Win.
Dang, that's flattering.
We got our 3 people.
Good job, us.
You were part of the goal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
you just happen to show up.
Now, one of the things I like.
That's a conversation.
That's the thing. That's half the battle right there.
Yeah,
just getting someone to show up.
Yeah, exactly.
Two,
especially nowadays.
The thing that I like about you is when I'm showing you something, and I got a screwdriver in my hand. You say, "Give me that screwdriver."
Yeah, heck
let me do it,
dude.
That's.
I have to.
Right, and that speaks volumes. I was walking down this aisle through those pianos with you, and you had moved maybe for 2 days moving pianos. I said, "What do you think about moving pianos?" You said, "Give me more."
All right.
You know what I mean? So
Careful what you asked for.
yeah, right. So with
We're
that,
chock full tomorrow.
yeah, oh yeah, tomorrow and the long distance run that we're starting to do.
Yeah, it's starting to
that's going to
potentially
be
take shape.
second week in April.
Yeah.
Love it.
So with that part of it, it's all working moving parts. It's the gears in the watch. It's the gears in the car. I mean, it's just all those parts have to move right because the NASCAR driver cannot win the race if his freaking motor isn't right, and his pit crew is us in the piano world.
You're the technician. You're the master technician in the house of pianos, and also the master technician of those gears staying oiled and moving.
Well, it's a lot to have not just the technical side of it, but now the business side of it and everything else. Those are two different kind of entities all in itself. You know what I mean? There's the building and what's happening inside of it. Then there's what's happening outside of the on the road. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot. But when you have good people working, there's very few problems. So
that's what you call partners. We're all partners in the business to take care of the business.
Right. And we're all here to complement each other. We're here to help each other. I mean, there isn't a person in this shop that would not stop what they're doing and say, hold on, let me help you do that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
All of us are like that. So we all have that along with many other things in common, that we're all here to, hey, what can I do? And can I help you? And blah, 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 blah. That's the beauty of this company too, and these are the things that I want our viewers to know and people to see, because maybe
Rosie's still working.
She's always still working. That's not because of me. It's not my, that's all her. But it is that part of it where when the gears are all working properly and you can shift, you can just run that car to the finish line.
It's true.
And that's the thing with us. There's no finish line. Really, we don't have a finish
Case
line.
in point, we're welders now.
We're beginning welders.
Oh no, we're welders.
Well, so we have beginning welders moving pianos.
You guys went to Harbor Freight today, I think?
Yeah, we did.
He did.
Yep.
Wait, did you actually go to Harbor Freight?
Yeah, I got a welder, man. Dude,
Yes, dude.
Yep.
A lot of people like to talk smack on Harbor Freight, but
what
do you mean? It's just
They're hand
tools.
tools. I don't like the hand
Just
tools.
tools.
Unless maybe
Go
they
spend less
sponsor
money.
us.
Yeah.
And then, those Pittsburgh tools,
Hashtag Harbor Freight.
we can be bought. Okay.
You guys have a ton of tools. You guys would do well.
The
with a
tools are
sponsor.
so nuts here.
Well, we have, so it's kind of
quite the shop.
It's kind of funny you said that, because I was talking with another technician at a convention, and all of their tools for everybody is in one hub. It's one spot. Okay. And when I showed him the shop and I took him for the tour, on online, he goes, you have multiple drills. You have multiple this. I said, I have 3 to 5 or 10 of everything, and they're all in each department. So that stays in the department. We don't have to go from all the way over here.
A lot of the batteries have seemed to float away.
Got battery gremlin.
Yeah. But we don't have to walk all the way from here to get the tool we need. It's in that department. It's at your fingertips.
So whoever
Just
you're
new
talking
batteries.
about,
that's the problem.
so whoever you're talking about, how big a shop is this? Because that doesn't even seem feasible for a place this size to have all the tools in one spot. It's like you can be 100 yards away and need something else. You know what I mean?
I think if one didn't have the resources to have a ton of, or each tool in every station, definitely if they only had a set or two, I think that sounds like a wonderful plan. But
if that's the place where you're at,
if
that's the place where you're at,
it's the only way to go.
Well, I've also worked at a place that had a special tool section to where, say, you needed, portable welder or something. You would come to the service guy or whatever, and they would sign you out that tool. And you're responsible for that tool. Once you were done, you brought that tool back. You're crossed out, returned.
So it just wasn't in the middle, but it was still the same, just a central location to get all tools. Kind of
Not all
like
tools.
okay,
Most,
tools.
yeah, special tools.
special tools.
Yeah.
Okay.
The higher end, like $500 or more, it would go into a cage because the company was buying them, but they kept going missing. They said, we're done with this. So once again, they built a cage.
Yeah, you got to do that.
The cage. I can picture it.
Yeah,
And that's the difference between corporate and a family company.
Yep.
I have no doubt
It's
in
also
my
more
head.
efficient this way.
Yeah, but I have no doubt that I can leave a tool out, and I know it's not going to get stolen. I'm not worried about it from anybody here. That's the difference. With corporate, you don't know that person.
Correct.
Or the other 5 or 10 people or however many it can be. You don't know that. So have there been times like, where's this tool? And did I think, it left the shop? But that was my, stupidity in the sense
every day that happens, I think, honestly. It's usually the last place you left it.
And usually I'm the one that took it and put it in my car to go do something with it and forgot about it. So it was me that did it. You know what I mean?
I think you brought it up in today's meeting, and then you're like, Dad, I think I got your screwdriver in my truck.
I made sure to put his tools right back today. I was working in his station.
Yep.
Oh, I got on them too. That one screwdriver is our screwdriver.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I don't know how it drifted over there.
Oh, no, that's your
I
job.
found that in his section.
We know.
What you guys were looking
We're
at
well aware.
was in
The Phillips head Klein.
the Klein Tools one.
I special ordered those.
But didn't he order some too?
So it ended
He
up
ordered
in
them for
Jim's
us.
section.
He
Somehow.
ordered for us. Yeah. So I told him he didn't. I don't know. I don't even know how he responded.
I saw you guys peeping it, looking at it.
Well, we were wondering because every time we put a good tool out there, it ends up in somebody else's department.
Yep.
That's the mover section. That's how That's how they do us.
And that screwdriver was in our section, and it went missing. And then I saw it, you using it, and I'm like, there's our screwdriver.
Well, at least it's counted for somewhere.
Hey, we're gonna.
Yeah, it's not. We're never concerned about like thievery.
No,
It's just,
sometimes
you just get distracted.
It's usually it's my freaking fault too.
Yeah.
like in somebody's truck.
Yeah, exactly. Let's take a timeout real quick. Yeah, Chris needs me.
Yep.
Smoke break.
Smoke. That's a good idea.
What's up, brother? Everybody, welcome back. We had to take a break. Chris needed our help, and it is happy hour. So,
And Chris just got back from tuning 5 pianos.
5
today?
pianos today.
So he had a heavy workload.
Yep.
Record of 11.
And he did something today that he's never done before. He fixed a problem that's a very obscure problem in a piano, and he was able to do it. And he's so proud of himself for doing it. And I'm proud of him for doing it because I'm pretty sure I never taught him how to fix that, but he did it on his own. And he's doing that a lot.
Which was
An underlever. So basically, even though the damper, when you hit the key, there's an underlever that's on the backside of the piano that most people don't see. It's the back action. It raises up the damper so the strings can sustain. Even though it's seating properly, it's coming back down. It still wasn't, exactly where it needed to be for the sound to stop sustaining, because that's what it's supposed to do. So he had to change the center pin in the underlever. That's what he did.
so it was doing it for all the dampers across the board.
No, just for this one,
just for the
in
one.
particular. And the thing with that is that on this type of piano, this manufacturer was smart because you could just unscrew it, pull it out, fix it. Some manufacturers, I'm not going to mention any names, that you have to pull.
We have an idea.
Yeah. Everybody who's listening that knows pianos knows who I'm talking about. The thing with that is that you have to remove the whole action,
The back action.
and the dampers. So you have to take all of that out to get to one. Doing it that way. That's why when we put
So that adds another hour and a half at least, probably. Right?
No. Hours, like 3-4 hours. Yes.
For one?
But if you have to remove the whole back action, remove
the
the
whole back-
dampers, and do that, and then you have to
Gotcha.
re-regulate the action. Yeah. To a guy that knows what he's doing, it's 3 to 4 hours.
Oh, well.
Okay.
But the good thing is that it was this type of piano, so he could just pull that out and fix it. And
That's about a half hour, if you know.
I'm not sure how long it took him, but it could have been a half hour to an hour.
Gotcha.
Service call, basically to fix that. But the thing with it is that with the other manufacturers, they're not screwed in, they're glued in.
Oh.
So you got to take the whole back action out.
That's not playing fair.
No, it's not.
Glued in. Wow.
And the problem is that back in the day, pianos that were being made from the manufacturers were not planning on somebody to rebuild them. That's the difference. As time has gone on, and even that manufacturer, I'm sure, has changed things. But as time has gone on,
and Hamilton opened up.
What has happened is they're starting to incorporate that part of it to make it easier.
Right.
Pianos can be very service friendly. You know what I mean? Like tech friendly.
Sure.
If the manufacturer
there's a
does
lot
it.
more 100-year-old pianos than there is 100-year-old cars.
Right, right. But the technicians 100 years from now are going to be happy because some of these guys are doing it now. Do you know what I mean? So, but it comes down to, when we do, for instance, when we do a player system, I told Tony, and Tony agrees, that we have to do this and this and this. So for the service call, you don't have to remove the whole thing. You only have to remove this part of it to make it easier. This way, if it's not us doing it and another technician, he's like, oh man, these guys are smart. They freaking cut this rail, so I don't have to take the whole rail apart. I just got to cut this and take it out and replace this, and boom, oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. That's the difference. And there's also the difference between corporate and family, getting back to that.
Which I just got the opportunity to learn how to install player systems, which was pretty awesome.
Well, and the thing of it is that when you deliver a piano, it kind of helps with certain aspects of it. Yeah. Hey, the pitman's missing. Where's that? Well, which happens all the time.
But I also got to learn how to, cut the, do the whole full install, which was awesome. I mean, I got to, I've learned bits and pieces, and I know, I knew some of it as far as the customer end of it. But to learn the full aspect, which was, gave a whole new aspect of doing them,
The inside of the box and the outside of the box. Those are all, different things. Mm-hmm. That's why you guys in particular are, and eventually this is going to happen for you. Yeah, you.
Jeff's not behind you.
Jeff is that when you guys know more than the average mover. Okay, you know more than the professional. You know more
than the biz. That's what I hear.
But you know more than the professional mover. Okay.
Oh, without that.
And the thing with that is, you guys can fix a polyester repair. You can put a pitman back in. You can adjust the pedals. You can do this. The list is long, and that's what makes it different for the movers, because you guys are in the shop learning this. Now, you already came with some of that knowledge, and you learned it through the years. And what happens is you're learning as you go along. So all the stuff that you're incorporating in here can be taken out on the road when you're doing a piano move.
Yeah.
True.
That's the thing.
And it goes back to the fact that you keep talking about, you've mentioned the cross training, and that's so important, because in a shop like this, there's always going to be a time where, like, okay, nope, we need a guy to come out on the truck, and we can take you from what you're doing, boom, put you on the truck. If at that point you're doing more of that, and put you on the truck, and it's like, we didn't miss a beat. If a person
is willing, yes.
We didn't miss a beat.
Right.
Exactly.
That's why.
Getting back to the NASCAR driver, think about it. Once he's done,
go Denny Hamlin.
He's done. They can't just take another driver. Hey, get in that car and go win the race. But with here, we have 2-3 people to back everybody up. So somebody's sick, somebody's, got a 20-year anniversary coming up and they need some time off, because yours is coming up. So congratulations.
Well, happy anniversary.
Well, thank you. Happy anniversary.
Happy early anniversary.
Well, thank you.
So, but
actually mine's first. I'm wishing him happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary to you and Stacy on the 5th.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
When's your anniversary?
I'll be working. I'll be on a cruise ship for my anniversary, but just not with my wife.
With me.
You got to edit that December out, because it's not December, it's August 31st.
Well, then have it belated.
Yeah. Either way, it's belated or it's early, whatever. Because, is that correct?
Yeah,
Belated
it's
is
definitely
when
correct.
you're saying it late.
August
after.
31st.
Right. So I was right. Okay.
Belated
good.
or it's early. So yeah, you covered all bases.
Okay, good. So yes, mine's August 31st. We got married at 8:31 in the morning because it was 8:31 today, 8:31 in the morning, and that's when my uncle was born. So that's why we got married at that time.
Glad I didn't know y'all then.
This was my
I
DJ
ain't
at the
trying to-
wedding.
Yes.
Forget about that.
Yeah.
8:30 in the
What was your
morning.
DJ
wedding?
name?
Strictly Dance. Yeah, laugh it up, Chuckles.
I didn't know what to expect.
And then I got with Kenny Mondo Productions, and Kenny, which Jordan is very familiar with because Kenny is Jordan's godfather.
Oh.
So, a lot of history there. But basically, I started at 14 DJing, and it was Strictly Dance, and I had a DJ with 2 turntables, 2 speakers on the card, and that's what
And
I
a
did.
microphone.
And, yeah, 2 speakers and a microphone.
No,
and
2 turntables.
That's what it was. 2
Turntables and
And
2
you were just doing
speakers.
pianos on the side.
No, I DJ'd first. I went from 14 to 24. I got into pianos at age 19, and then my piano business was getting so busy that I had to pick one or the other, and I chose pianos over DJing.
Word.
So I was kind of tired of the late nights coming home at 2,
glad you
3
did.
o'clock in the morning. Me too. But I had to pick and choose. I had a wife, I had 2 young kids, and it just wasn't for me, anymore. And I didn't want to have to keep upgrading equipment and doing it this way and that way. So even years later, people were asking me to do it. I said, no, because if my equipment fries during your wedding, I don't want to be blamed for that, and I'm not going to go buy equipment to do that. So
Highly logical.
it was a lot of fun. I will say that it was a lot of fun. I did a lot of cool gigs. I did a lot of fun stuff.
Especially at that age. That's awesome, man. That is a really cool spot to be in, from 14 to 24.
Yeah, well, it was kind of funny because what happened was Freddie was a friend of mine, right? And he was 13, I was 14, and so he had a little DJ set up in his bedroom at his house, and so I kind of was intrigued with it. And then someone asked us to kind of do this party at an efficiency, 1-bedroom apartment. We're like, okay, there was 8
Dude,
people.
house parties are the best.
There was eight people there, right? But we brought our turntables, we brought everything, and then there was a woman there that said, "Hey, I know somebody that's getting married, and they want a DJ." And we're like, "Yeah, we'll do it, no problem." Well, we talked with the husband and wife, soon to be, and
So how do you do a wedding?
and we said, basically our list was, what's your song to dance to? And that was it. We never got on a microphone, nothing. So we said,
You didn't do introductions or none of that?
Nope, we didn't do any of that. It was at the Lake Worth Casino, and that's where it was. So, okay, the story gets better, okay? So what happens is, we talked with the husband and wife, and they're like, yes, $100. They're like, how much is it going to cost? We said $100 because we're 13 and 14 year old. Yeah, we're like, okay, $100, 50 for you, 50 for me, great. Blah, blah, blah. So now I'm sitting there like, is our equipment good enough? Because blah, blah, blah. So we ended up buying some mixing board and blah, blah. At the wedding that we did for 6 hours, we never once got on a microphone. We didn't even have one with us. So we didn't get on a microphone. We just played the music. We did that part of it. My parents were there, his parents were there, and there was 300 people there.
Wow.
At this
wedding.
thing.
Jeez.
And I loved it. I had so much fun that after we were done and we're packing up, I said to Freddie, I want to keep doing this. He goes, yeah, me too. Well, Freddie went off, did his thing. I went and said, I want to start doing this. So I started.
A man of action.
So I had home equipment, a home stereo and this and that and blah, blah. I had that mixer. And so I started doing that part of it. And my dad would drive me to gigs and drop me off. I'd set up. I started getting more on a microphone, started emceeing, started doing things. And then Kenny Mondo Productions, I was working at a tuxedo shop. Kenny Mondo, Bobby, who's Jordan's father, he was running that part of it at the time. And we got together and Kenny said, we'll start using you, and he kind of trained me a little bit. So I started doing work for Kenny Mondo Productions. Then I'm doing that stuff. So I'm working at a tuxedo place and doing gigs at night, not every night. It was usually a Friday and Saturday night. And so I started doing that. And then I'm like, hey, I need better equipment, because if I'm working for this other company, my stuff, I'm bringing home stereo equipment to these gigs. Yeah. So my dad's like, what do you need? And I said, I don't know. So there was a DJ place that used to be off of Lake Worth Road. So we went there, and it was like $3,500 worth of equipment. My dad said, I'll put it on my credit card. You just pay it off. I said, okay, thanks, Dad. So that's what I did. And I bought lights, everything. And I have the sign to this day. It's right over here from Kenny Mondo Productions with my name on it. So I did that, and you had to put it on the front so everybody kept remembering who you were. So now I'm probably 17 years old, and I'm working. I'm working with Kenny. I'm doing that part of it.
That's solid, right? 17 and.
And my dad's driving me to gigs because we had Kathy Kretcher's old van and trailer, from Piano Moves. So we loaded everything into the trailer, and we did that. Then eventually I grew into having an F-150 Ford, and I had all my equipment back there, and I would move it and do all this stuff. And that's my DJing career, really. I mean, between 14 and 24. And then the reason why I got out of DJing was a couple reasons. The music, it was just changing so much, and everything was going from CDs to MP3s and all that stuff. And I was so busy with the piano business because my uncle passed away. So when my uncle died, unexpectedly, I just filled in. I just worked. And I worked, I'm not kidding, every day for 3 months straight, except for the day that he died. I was at the funeral, and I kept working. That's my solace. That's what helps get me through it. I did it when my dad died. I did it when my uncle died, and pretty much everybody else in my whole family. But I did that, and then
his whole family's not dead. Everybody.
Yeah, right. I still have my brother and my niece and
your wife and children.
That too. I forgot that.
Your aunts.
But
your mother-in-law, your father-in-law.
Okay. Well, now you're making my family sound bigger than I realized. But the point is that when that
family too.
When that part happened, that was a critical time in my life. You really have to think about it. I got a young, I'm newly married. We're gonna have a kid, and I got a piano business that's doing this. I got a DJ business that's doing this. And what do? I can't do both, because I even at that age, I had to figure out what's going to be the path you're going to take. And that's in everybody's life, because everybody comes across that fork in the road where you're like, which path do I take? Do I go this way and this way? Some choose the right way, some don't. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is.
Crossroads.
Yeah, man.
And I feel like I took the right path because I love this business so much that it makes me feel like, not that I didn't love DJing. I did. I mean, to get people out on the floor. I mean, at one elderly party.
It was great pulling them out of retirement for a day.
But talk about instant gratification. Like, you're talking about buffing stuff, you know what I mean? But that is like for real. Yeah. Like
absolutely.
Juiced up instant gratification.
So I had to do this party at this retirement club in Hope Sound one night. I'm not kidding you. You know you've made it when you had an 80-year-old or 90-year-old woman on the floor with their oxygen tank dancing.
To rob bass and DJ Easy Rock. It takes two to make a thing go right.
And then she threw out her hip.
No ambulances happened at this party.
It takes not two hips for hips thrown out of place.
Kenny Mondo Productions.
But I would
read the fine print.
But I would also go out there and dance with the people, and I'd grab people and pull them out of the chairs. That's me. That's what I was doing. That was my job.
You do that at my wedding.
Because I was new. As I learned that later on. Like the next wedding after yours, I was fine. But you learn that kind of stuff, and you figure a way. Same thing with the company. I'm still figuring a way, because there's so many ways to figure. So you've got to kind of.
You'd be complacent. If there was nothing to be figuring out, then you would be stagnant.
Yes. And you have to know that, those paths. For instance, I'm going to give you an example. We have Rolling Out, right?
Yep.
It was, I opened up in 2008. I would say it was probably 2009, 2010 that I had the opportunity to become a Roland dealer, at that time. And I turned it down. And that was one big decision in my head. I didn't think it was ready for it. I didn't think I was right, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't doing them justice. I wasn't doing us justice. That was just me. I was moving their digitals for them because of the shows they had at Costco. So, before my dad passed away, I told my dad, I really think I need to buy a building. It's just something inside of me. I'm tired of paying rent and I'm losing all this money. Now that's when I'm 2,200 square feet. That was minuscule compared to the big scheme of things. And he says, well, son, if that's what you think you need to do, you need to do it, because every decision you've made has been right since you opened up this shop. And I'm sitting there going, okay. So I keep that in me. Like I have articles or one article that my dad gave me of a strip from a newspaper. Yes, there used to be newspapers, and and I have it hanging up over here about yes, you can. Yes, you can. It relates to the Shawshank Redemption movie. But when my dad said that at that time, yes, it meant a lot to me. But it means more to me now, because look what's happened. Now we have Roland. Now we're ready. We're ready to do what they need us to do and what customers need us to do. I wasn't ready back then. So that's another decision at that point in time that I made the right decision. Don't get me wrong, but I made the right decision when it was brought to my attention with, hey, we think we should do this, blah, blah, blah. And that's the difference, once again, between corporate and family. Yeah. Because when someone brings something to my attention, I am going to listen to them. I'm not going to sit there and take the credit for it. That's the other thing. That kind of happens in corporate. But basically, hey, well, maybe there's something here to it. Let's email them. Let's do this. And boom, boom, boom. And now look what's happening with it. So you start.
We're getting a lot out of it, which is nice.
You have to listen to everybody but yourself. You have to listen to yourself to a point, but if you've got 20 people you're listening to,
listen to your heart.
That's the only thing left to listen to, and there's so many other things that could be listened to.
And when it comes down to, you also have to, if you put yourself in my shoes, you have to sit there and go, is this a good idea or not? Is this worth it or not? Or is it worth the chance? That's the thing. So if I think it's worth a chance, I'm going to do it every single freaking time. The reason why is because there are a lot of things in life that people will regret that they didn't take the chance on. And they're like, oh, I should have done that. Oh, I should have done that. Forget pianos. I'm talking about life in general. It's just in general. Oh, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have done this, blah, 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 whatever it is. And in life, you end up with what the risk you take to get to where you are.
Even when the risks end up kind of as an L, you still learn from that and grow from it, and it's always a positive to take the risk.
Correct. You're because you learn from it. That's the difference between some people and other people. Most people don't learn from their mistakes. They don't learn from this and this and this. So, case in point,
I guess I should say you have an opportunity to learn from mistakes as long as you take risks
and make it grow.
Correct. So let's say this. Let's say I went the DJ path and I didn't do the piano path. We wouldn't be sitting here right now.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean? This company would not exist if I would have taken that path at a young age and would have went that way. Why?
I'm pretty sure I'd still be here.
With DC Moore.
Fair enough. Just have a different shirt on.
But
different truck, different trailer.
You can still have a podcast that was talking about DJ
One vehicle.
stuff. Everybody works for a DJ company for Tobias instead of a piano company.
Possibly.
I mean, have a DJ company with 25 employees.
You never know what your path is going to be, but you do know how you can direct it. You know that, listen, I got 3 roads ahead of me. All right, do I make a left turn, keep going straight, or do I make a right turn?
It depends on if Trump's coming into town.
That's true, too. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because I'm going left. But, everybody's going to have that.
Right.
Just don't go north.
That's why you
go
go
west first.
Right. But that's the thing, too. With that path, it can be numerous things in someone's life, and it can happen numerous times in someone's life. It's not just one time and that's it. No, it can be numerous times. So when you have that happening, you have to sit there and say, hey, I made a left the first time. Didn't work out so well for me. Maybe I should go straight or make a right. If you kind of psychologically think that, you can kind of navigate yourself to the point where you end up where you want to be. Because reality is, are you where you want to be? You know, I am. I know I am. I hope you guys are too.
I'm right where I want to be.
But I am right where I want to be. Are there parts of where I am that I don't want to be? Yes. Okay, that's a whole nother 10 podcasts. But there are parts of, yes, no, I don't want to be here right now with this and this and this. But with everything in my life, with where I'm at, I'm happy with. I'm fine. I can live with that because I went the piano way. I'm not saying everyone's got to go to piano way to make that happen. I'm just saying whatever the path
There's
is,
at least
they got to do
88
it.
keys to go that way.
Yeah.
You got to be able to at least send yourself through the process of figuring out what the decision is when you come to that crossroad.
And what did I teach you earlier? I said the person that learns what they want to do and do it from the start will be more successful at the end of their life, because really there's an end game, which is the end of everyone's life. If you start earlier, if you start later in life, the same person that does 10 different jobs, you're 30, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's use that number. From 18, when you're literally an adult, from 18 to 30, you have 10 jobs. Okay. Who's further at 30? The person that had 10 jobs or the person that had one job and kept going?
It goes back to the Bruce Lee thing. He was famous for saying, I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times versus a man that knows 10,000 kicks.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. That's the difference, is when you have taken something, a skill, which is everything in the world is a skill. You take that skill, and if you've done it for 10 years, you're going to be better at it than the person that did it in the very beginning. But if you've got a skill that you did 10 different skills, you're going to be 10% of this, 10%. You know, it's going to vary between that time frame. Once you get to, but if you start in 30s young, we're all so young. I mean, we're not old guys, okay? I mean,
Some older than others.
Working on it.
oh, we're all working on it. We're all working on it. This ain't getting browner. This is getting grayer. But we're all working on that, you know, that end game. Mm-hmm. We're working on age. We're working on the end game. And the end game is going to be figuring out what's going to get you to that end game where you're happy. Because we're all going to get there.
Who said we're not happy now?
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we are happy now.
No, I know.
But when we're retired, are we still going to be happy?
I hope so.
And I know so. For me, I know so. I have an end game.
Am I fishing? I'll be happy.
I have an end game. I know I'm going to be happy. The thing is that I want everybody else affiliated under this umbrella of a company to be there too. It's not just
Or under
about
the blanket.
me. Or a blanket. It can be a blanket if that makes you feel all
We
warm.
do use a lot of
Warm
blankets. Those are
and
called
fuzzy.
pads.
No, we're not talking about
Oh,
those.
man.
We're not talking about those.
If it makes you all feel warm and fuzzy because you have a blanket, that's fine. But it's that part of it where
Oh, that's the rum.
but you get to that point where, you know, when we get to that part, 15 years, 20 years, whatever it is down the road, you want to look back, because that's exactly what we're all going to do. And everybody else listening, you're all going to look back at what your life was about. And did you accomplish everything that you wanted to? It is fine if you didn't. Because if you, it's fine if you didn't. Because if you've got the family that you love and you accomplish that, that's all that you need. You don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to be a billionaire. You don't have to have a yacht. You don't have to have a mansion. You just have to have everything that is right in front of you right there at that point in time.
You got a smile on your face. Do you have a smile on your face? Do you put smiles on other people's faces?
Exactly.
That's all that matters.
Do you laugh more? Do you laugh more or do you cry?
Oh, man.
You know, that's the thing. And I do.
Depends on who you work with.
so hard I cry.
And when you have that mentality, that part of it, your life's better. It really is. No matter how, okay, so when someone's having a bad day, whether it's my wife or anybody here or whatever, we all try, you know, I do it. I know you guys do too. We try to throw a joke in there. get that frown upside down, and flip it around where, they may chuckle for a minute, but for the most part, no one's really upset when they're here. No. I mean, it's all, you're new, you're new, right? I mean, that's not me saying it. That's, you've seen it. Right. You've seen it.
I still feel green.
It is just
every single day there's something to learn.
But you're seeing,
it's going to be that way for years. I mean, seriously, so. Absolutely.
But you see that part of it where you're seeing the camaraderie, and it's just like, hey, we need to do this. Well, 2, 3 guys, so let's go and do it and get the job done, setting up a piano, whatever it is. We're knocking it out. We're getting done, and then everyone went back to their job. Dude, that's freaking awesome. I'm sorry. That's awesome. Hey, I need some help over here. And let's do it. All right. And they go back.
It's like earlier, I was breaking down a piano, and I had to call to the welding department. I
just bought the welder today, just so everybody knows. We don't even know how to use it.
One of the welders was able to come down.
I asked Mike. I was like, he was actively setting up the welder, and I was like, yo, you know how to weld? He's like, nah.
Not yet.
Spike, we got you coming. Yeah, you're gonna teach us how to weld.
Who's Spike?
Spike's a good friend of mine, a brother who's a lifelong welder and fabricator.
Job kicked him a couple times,
and he's gonna swing by at some point and give us some pointers.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Yeah. Because what we're working,
because you can't even weld wood. I just found that out today.
Something new to me too, just now.
Yeah.
But
can't
styrofoam.
Hey,
none of that. You can't.
Wood, water, or a broken heart. You can't weld any of them. But you can work on the crack of dawn.
Water? You sure about water?
I'm positive.
But you can weld a plate for a piano.
You
can braze it.
You can braze it. You can't weld it.
Braze it. Spike! Because I have no clue how to do that. But the cool thing is the reason why we're bringing him in is because of something that everybody's going to see once it's on Facebook, is something that is revolutionary for the piano movers in the world.
Absolutely.
This is a game changer. It is going to freaking...
Are we hearing it here first?
We're the only ones that have come up with this idea.
Absolutely.
And we're the only ones that
They're crazy enough to do it.
Crazy enough to do it and have it built already.
Yep.
This is a game changer.
What is it?
You'll have to find out.
You have to tune in to find out. This is something that is going to, now don't get me wrong, this is not like, oh, I want to go to Publix and get this because I saw it, it's a snack. This is something for dedicated people that want to make their life easier when they're moving pianos.
How long have you been working on it?
Not that long, really.
About a year?
No.
Yeah,
it's a good amount of time.
Yeah, a lot closer to a year than you think.
Yeah. A year is a good amount of time for some R&D.
Well, that's not our fault. Well, I had that drawn.
When did we put it into play? About 6 months ago.
We talked about it for 3-4 months before we even reached out to Spike or
right.
A&J Sheet Metal in Jupiter, Florida.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
who did the fabricating for us?
So with that, probably about a year from the time it morphed into an idea and so on and so forth.
Close to a year.
Yeah, I could see that.
You guys thought of a thing and created it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Is it here in the shop now? Can I search for it like Santa's presents hiding in the closet?
You can, but you'll never find it.
Yeah, you'll never find it. You don't even know what you're looking for.
I know.
Hey, we can do that for Easter.
That sounds like a good challenge.
Instead of Easter eggs, find a freaking...
The Easter egg.
I can't say the name because I want to give it away.
But a good scavenger hunt.
But it is something that is going to, if this works out, which we all are expecting it to, is going to be a huge game changer for very difficult moves.
Absolutely.
So we'll leave it at that. But it's exciting.
Okay. It's a flying carpet.
I knew it. I was thinking that it might be something magical.
It's cool. It's cool.
Like a thing of magic.
You're going to dig it.
So you guys have figured out magic here too.
Yeah, it goes like this.
We're dabbling.
You dibble dabble in the magics. I see.
See my phone? Now you don't. But it's something that everybody should tune into. And once this gets posted on Facebook and YouTube, it's going to be, listen, it's not for people that own a piano. It's for the people that move the piano. That's going to be the tie-in. But if you use this equipment, it's going to make moving a piano easier for the right company that's doing it.
Correct.
When do you plan on implementing this thing?
It'll be done by next month.
Probably be on a Tuesday.
So this episode is 4 episodes out.
At 3:25 in the afternoon with 37
see.
seconds.
We're going to air it. The countdown will start
So
happening.
you may as well share the news here for 4 episodes down the road.
It's about 4 episodes, right?
Yeah.
Probably so. We still got to hear back from Jimmy Kimmel's people.
Yeah.
I see.
And TED Talks, all those people. You know,
Johnny Carson.
I know they want to be on our show,
Yeah.
Hashtag
Jay
TED Talks.
Leno.
Sounding quite revolutionary.
Jay Leno's going to bring his cars. We're going to have a big
Oh,
old
it's going to be a whole
huge
You guys are
show.
going to put a piano in a car, I heard.
It's going to be a convertible.
And a clown car.
I mean, we already put one in trucks. Just so you're aware.
That's a good point. That's a really good
We
point.
do. And yachts. We put them in boats.
Yep.
So,
And ships.
May as well start putting them in cars.
yeah, why not? Why not? Pretty soon the boat will tow the freaking.
Oh, boy.
That's a whole nother episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
But everybody, thanks for joining in. We really appreciate it. Dave, thanks for being on board.
Thanks for coming.
We're glad you're here. We're glad you joined the
Absolutely.
podcast. And follow us, hamiltonpianoco.com, or email us at info@hamiltonpianocompany or pianoco.com. And anybody get something to say to leave us off?
Everyone have a good night. And thanks for joining.
See you.
Later.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.